Welcome to the Overdye channel. This is their first attempt at doing this kind of video, this in-depth, this way. So I appreciate if you would like and subscribe. I know the work that Matt and Graham put into this channel, and I wouldn't do this video for anybody else. This is a walkthrough through my collecting journey with Visvim and also my closet. I hope you guys enjoy it, but if you have any questions, please feel free to leave comments down below and I'd be happy to answer them, even if it's a little thing. You know, for me, what's really important about this journey for me is the collecting. And I love the collecting and I love the community, and I'm always happy to share my information and my sort of experience. So please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. We thought that it would be kind of cool to talk about where my collection started. And I have to shout out Dan Zaffian negotiating on my first piece of Visvim, which I didn't buy till 2018, actually. It's quite late. But I was always obsessed with trucker jackets, and I thought that it would be really cool to have something that was another level than just like a standard jean jacket type of thing. And I found Dan's piece ungrailed, and he and I were going back and forth, and then he sold it to somebody else, and then I went on like a crazy wormhole down this whole thing to find the jacket again. And I did eventually find it in Japan, and this is that jacket. So this is the very, very early 101 IT Deerskin. So I'm not sure if you can really tell, but basically the quality is another level. Obviously, it's very tight on me, but this actually also began the journey with customizing Visvim. So if you can see on the inside of the jacket, I have a master tailor in LA who actually can extend jean and suede pieces. So I actually was able to take this out, and this is a little tight on me, let's call a spade, but there's just something about this that like reminds me of where I started. So I'm never gonna sell this, and for me, this is something that I always like to reference. So here we go. So the second piece is something a little different. Most people have never even seen before. I know I hadn't until my first deal with Simple Kicks. You guys all know him from the universe. And he sourced for me the Black Sense Marque. It's got a crocodile patch. And also similarly, you can see here, much easier than on the black suede version, that I was able to extend this jacket, because this is a size 2. And I'm 6'1", 200 pounds on a good day or a bad day. And I can still wear this jacket, and I love it because, I mean, nobody does. If you're a collector of Japanese things, Black Sense Marque was incredibly important as a retailer, but also because I was a big Julius guy. And so Black Sense and Julius collaborated on the first capsule collection of widespread artisanal Japanese goods that came to the United States. So that's where I was aware of them, and I really had to have this once I knew about it. Another particularly cool thing about this piece, and just so I can share just a little bit of what they can actually do. And this is Denim Doctor in LA. Vladdy, I know I took you there. But the really cool thing is, it actually has a black tag. Super rare. And even though it's a size 2, it fits me. So that's the cool thing about these, you know, the washes, and this is all done by Black Sense. It's the only time that I know that Hiroki ever let somebody else treat his stuff. It's kind of cool. I believe this is from 18. Let's check. In fact, it is. So this is a weird take on the 101 because it has snaps instead of buttons. Sorry, snaps instead of the traditional jean buttons. But what I really loved about this piece was it's actually like a cotton suede, and there was something about this piece that just like really spoke to me. Other manufacturers or houses call it moleskin, and this was the first time that I saw the jumbo cut on a 101, and it really sort of, was the genesis of what later became the 101XX, which is my favorite jacket that Hiroki does. So this is quite cool. This is actually the first 101 ever made. And I found it on Railed from some poor bastard who didn't really know what he had. And this is a size extra large and literally fits me perfectly. And there's just something about this material. I can't even describe it. It's almost like a chino, if you're familiar with like what a chino looks like in fabric. It's fabulous. And the snakeskin. Everybody loves the snakeskin patch. So this is the 103. I am obsessed with green. And this jacket was the first green jean jacket that Visvim ever did. And it's based on the 103, style. So it's got different scallop pockets. And it also is quite cool because you never really see green denim. But this jacket actually spawned what is my favorite leather jacket until, 103 goat skin suede jacket that I have, actually 2 of, thanks to Christian, who just sold me a second one. And that was my favorite jacket of all time from Visvim. It's actually from the New York pop-up collection, but this is the jacket that started it. So, this was the first attempt by Visvim to do like another color black. So they actually call this black, but it's actually quite gray. And this was the first time that I was able to find a proper size in the 101 for me. So I got a 4. And I always tell myself that I'm gonna wear this jacket, but I just never end up doing it. It's a bummer, because it's really nice. All right, so kind of a funky piece. This is the first jacket that I ever bought from Visvim, first piece from Visvim I ever bought at retail. This isn't that jacket because Aaron Valia, shout out to you, I traded the first one that I had for his duck camo G-line coach jacket, which you're gonna see in a second, which is oddly, not at all my most expensive piece, but it's by far my most commented and appreciated piece, which is kind of funny. But the 101 CMYK was my muse because they'd never really done a proper black jean jacket. So this was the first piece that I really was lusting after, and Matthias at the store got me into it, and it was a gateway drug. So this is another really cool piece that's sort of slept on, but this is actually the first 101 XX that they did, even though it's not an XX cut. It's just an XX because of the fabric distressing. And it's got crazy, damage processing on it. And I just really find this jacket to be a easy gateway to anybody as to why Visvim is worth the money, so to speak. I mean, I really find that when I wear this jacket, it just reminds me that this stuff is accessible to anybody. And that's why I love the 101 in particular. So as I finish this 101 section with the last piece, it's just a good gateway to then show you the difference between ICT, regular Visvim, and then IT. So this is a funny piece. I don't know whether this is to be true or not, but I actually, as I was mentioning, I cut up my CMYK because I had a very specific thing in mind when I saw this IT piece, and I was like, shit, I could make an undercover version of a Visvim jacket. Undercover Jun Takahashi, for all of you that don't know. And I actually cut up my CMYK and made a vest. And then I gave it to a friend because he thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then coincidentally, Hiroki came out with this version. And it's not something that I've worn yet, but it's something that I could wear very easily. So this was another one that I was kind of split on. Everybody knows I'm Mr. 101. But this is the newest season, 101 XX, so obviously the drop shoulder cut. I think as you see, it's just a really nice jacket, but the interesting thing about this one is it has this new season sort of hardware. And Graham and I were just discussing, it's not very traditional.
Or functional.
Or functional. However, stupid. Guess it doesn't want to close. That works. It's cool. I think it's actually a little cheaper than it used to be, and that's kind of a bummer. Plus, I never liked a snap jacket. I'm definitely more of a button person than a snap. And you're about to see some other stuff, so you decide. So this was my first sort of real come up in the Visvim game. This is a 2012 Autumn Winter 101 IT in black. And this is the thing after I got the Deerskin 101 that I always wanted, but I never really thought I would get it because it's quite rare. But I got really lucky that I was able to have the original dead stock one, and then I found on Yahoo Japan another one. And so what I was able to do is I'll keep the dead stock one, and that one has the traditional patch, and I'll keep this one as a reference. But the really cool thing is I actually was able to now cut my own patches. So I have my own alligator patch, belly scales. And that's the one that I'll wear, and then I'll always have this one, just so I always have one that reminds me of what it was like to get my first big boy Visvim piece. So this is a cool piece. I actually, in period, this was the first 101 IT jacket that I could actually track down and afford. But I slept on it because I was like, I'm not gonna spend $2,500 even at, you know, the sale price for a very thin jacket. And the white stitching kind of threw me off at first. So I kind of cheaped out. And this is another jacket that I bought several times. I bought a size 2, then I bought a size 3, and this is a size 4. But I'm actually negotiating with somebody for a size 5 now because it's quite like thin, and I think it would be kind of cooler in an oversized fit. But this is a goat skin, and it's actually quite similar to the Deerskin from the original 101 IT, but I really love the details. Coming up on another jacket I'll show you, I actually custom made my own 101 XXIT, and I killed the original size 2 jacket to harvest the buttons and the conchos. So this was a kind of fun one. I buy from Exposition, I buy from Japan, I buy from Proxy, I buy from all over the place to get what I want. And I don't think that there's anybody since 2018 who has the velocity that I have of buying things. So people offer me stuff from all over the place. This jacket was actually left at one of the original outlets in Japan, Visvim. It's one of the stores. And for some reason, nobody bought it. And I think it's because it's kind of a funky size. It's a size 3, but it's from 19. So it's got this sort of very unique sleeve decoration, also from the last jacket that we did. But I saw this jacket in a capsule release press announcement, and I noticed it on the hanger. And I was like, I called my plug in Japan, and I said, you gotta get there and you gotta get me that jacket. So I bought this brand new for Japanese retail in 2022 as a 2019. So I think this one is quite cool. The other thing is my friend Graham, again, who's behind the camera, I sold him a jacket, but Christian, another one of us reprobates in the community, had taken the patch off, and Graham had never bought an IT piece before. So I literally took this jacket to my leather god, Tony, shout out Uncle Tony, and he custom fabricated these patches for me and removed the patch from this, which was a perfect match for Graham's jacket. And we did the swap, and Graham actually sold his jacket so that he could get into some other stuff. It's a trading economy. Olive. So, this was a come up, and this I think is a size 5. No, 4, sorry. I'm thinking of another piece. But these old 101 IT jackets, I just sort of started collecting them wherever I could. And for me, it was really lucky because this olive is a color they never did again. And it's a a bummer like I don't wear this more, because now as I'm trying this stuff on, it's quite amazing. But I love the color, and it was a 101 IT, and this was at a period when these 101 ITs were completely slept on. So I got this jacket, I think I got it for $650. Crazy. This is kind of a cool piece to those who know. Like all Visvim, it's if you know, you know. But I want to shout out Julian Fetterman, because his article talking about how special the volcanic ash pieces really inspired me. And I got really lucky that I found a guy on Grail who had a size 5, which this one is. And this is the very rare gray color. A lot of them are beige, but I quite like the gray color. And chances are you'll never see one. Each of the patina is quite different, obviously because of the ash that was literally done to them. And if you can see, the collar is amazing with the paint splatter. This is one of those jackets where, unfortunately, I'm a victim of my own like neuroses, and I just never take it out of the closet. But I love owning it because it reminds me that everything is temporal. And there was a point in time when Visvim started doing craft like this, and nobody has come anywhere near the level of craft that he's done since. So a friend of mine who knew I was into the game, I missed out because I was negotiating like a cheap fuck during the pandemic on a blue painted 101 IT jacket, which is like a, you know, for the collectors of the 101, it's like a grail. And then somebody sent me this, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Is that a salmon? Is it rosé? What is that? And I just remember I had just started collecting watches at the time, and I bought my first yellow gold 5402, and 5402 is the original Royal Oak. And I walked into the guy's office to pick up the watch, and I was wearing the jacket, and one of the guys sitting in the office was like, is that a Visvim jacket? And I was like, you know. And to me, this is, again, one of these pieces that will never be replicated. And as it's quite cool to do this video, and I'm glad that Matt and Graham really pushed me to do it, because I don't touch a lot of the stuff that I have in the closet. I live in New York, and so now I find myself reaching for the same black, or, you know, sometimes if I'm gonna wanna wear something a little bit more special, I go for a kerchief or something like this. But, you know, the 101 was really where it started for me. So this is the last 101 that I have in the collection, but I'm gonna show you now the 103s that I have, and that's really taking this jacket and this silhouette to the, you know, furthest degree. All right, and onto the jackets you really know that I love, because I have two. And this one always freaked me out a little bit to sort of wear in public, because I could never replace it. But luckily, Christian had this jacket, and this jacket was the original size 5, probably the only piece that was ever created for the New York pop-up. And when I started fishing for Visvim on Grailed, this was always my reference piece, but he had bought it from somebody on Grailed for like a crazy low price. I want to say like 1,200 bucks or something like that. So I kept trying to like stoke him with offers of like 1,600, 1,800, 2,000. And bless his heart, he finally sold it to me this year, and I just had to have it because it was like a, you know, reminder of the fact that the community is more important than anything, and you got to know your people, and you got to know who like to take care of. And I love to, you know, Christian's dream piece was a purple kerchief, and so I actually hunted down that purple kerchief, and I literally spent 5,500 bucks to get it, and I traded him for actually Graham's 101 IT jacket that he just sold, and a couple $1,000 for the purple kerchief, and he still has it. And it's a reminder that this habit is more about the community than it is just about the clothes. And so I love that for that. And you know, I think this jacket, the quality speaks for itself. I mean, you can really see the hairy goat skin is just fucking amazing. And to see a size 3 and a size 5, you'll never see one, let alone 2 of them. And there's a guy in Japan right now that has the other 2 colors. This one was released in 3 colors. This was released in yellow and royal blue and this green. So it's my goal this year to get the other 2 colors just to complete the set. So this is quite controversial, but my people who know will know. This is size 2, and this jacket was sitting at Exposition since 2021. And it was because it was ordered by somebody and never taken. It was originally ivory, and Tony, my guy, the only mistake he made in dyeing it is getting a little bit on the liner there, but I kind of like it anyway. I have been, for anyone that really knows me, the 101XX IT is like my holy grail. It's the most wearable, it's the most unique in the sense of the material, the finish, just the quality of it. And so for me, I had been devoting an unhealthy amount of energy, mental thought energy, in finding the 21 autumn winter black real jacket. The problem is, it was so expensive that so few people bought it that there just weren't that many, and I couldn't afford in 21 to have the IT at retail. So I was sort of left to the secondary market, and this jacket represents an important step for me because this is the jacket that I just found out recently in the past week actually that the 21 autumn winter is horsehide. And I actually don't love horsehide. It's cool, and you'll see I have some horsehide pieces, but to me, I created my reality. This jacket lived an unloved life at Exposition, and I gave it a new life, and I bought this for myself for my birthday this year, and that's sort of makes me happy. So this was another one of my most recent purchases. I actually bought this again for myself for my birthday because, oddly, when you wear 101XX IT, I've never experienced this phenomenon before, but people ask me to touch me because the jacket looks like it's of a different quality to anything that most people have seen in their life. And I was a little bit remiss because I was getting the last jacket was ivory, so it was almost like a white. And I knew that would be the best base to dye because that's the one that would take the dye the best. But I always sort of held out hope that I would find another one of these jackets, and then for those of us in the community, you know, the Whale, Tokyo Whale, sorted me out, and this was the third piece that I bought from him, and something that I'm actually going to beat the shit out of, and I'm going to try to make it look as beat up as possible. This is beige, the other one is light brown. This is the darkest of the three colors, ivory, light brown, beige, and to me, this is the most oversized of all my 101XX ITs. It's a cool cut, I think it's size 4, and so for me, it's just a different silhouette. I also like this jacket very much, but I'm more excited to wear the light brown and keep this one as like a reference piece. So I actually never thought I was going to be able to find a green 101XX IT, and then I got really lucky because Phoenix, my boy, sorted me out with this, and this was the first IT piece I bought at Japanese retail from the main flagship store. And I've always been a little bit worried to wear it, but you know, I'm doing this video now, I'm shooting this thing with these guys, and my New Year's resolution of my collecting is to wear this jacket more because it's just fucking badass. There's just something about it that just, I can't even describe it. It makes you feel a certain way. So this jacket's kind of funny. My girlfriend thinks that Visvim is actually quite daddy-ish, which I think is kind of hilarious, but this jacket I slept on also. I was buying Trunk Show when this jacket was available to order, and I was just like, I didn't like the distressing, and it just sort of never sit right with me. And then after I got the light green 101XX, which I just got, which I just showed, I was like, shit, I fucking messed up. So Phoenix moved heaven and earth and got me, this is actually the presentation piece of this jacket. And it's by far my most worn Visvim piece. Why? Because the distressing. The distressing means I can beat the shit out of it, I can be out in the rain, it doesn't fucking matter. And oddly, this jacket also caused Lottie to get rid of his Elmendorf and get a 101XX IT. So I'm officially a Visfluencer. So now we're moving out of the 101 section. I know it took forever, but this was the first piece that I ever met another person in the community from. I actually bought this from Gian. Shout out Gian, the OG, the original, and I loved it. But every time I wore the vest, it just sort of reminded me of being a leather daddy. Because it's black, it's quite thick. It's just, you know, a different kind of aesthetic. And to me, I love it. And this one is cow also, which is gonna break in quite nicely. I wish I wore this jacket more. I actually cut up a CMYK. Gotta show your Visvim buttons. And turned this into an undercover Jun Takahashi sort of redux out of a Strabler IT vest. Yeah. All right, so this was another one of my grails that Phoenix got me for my birthday. I love green. You know, you can see that in my collection. It's a through line throughout the entire collection. And for me, you can see the difference between the leather jacket and the denim jacket and the combination of the two. But I also really feel like this jacket, this vest has a place in my collection, always. It's just a beautifully elegant piece. And you know, the detailing and the color, the way that the cow skin takes the color is just really special. So this one is always gonna hold a special place in my heart. I wish that I could find the light blue, Robert Strojan, another one of the community, infamous. I was going back and forth with him because he got that last one from Unknown, I think, in Miami. And I should have bought that just to complete the collection. I'm one of these weird guys that, like, most of my collection, I would say, is stuff that I don't wear, but I love having because in case that I ever decide I want to wear it, I know that it's in the closet. So this is a special piece. I know I might say that quite frequently coming forward here, but anyone who knows me knows that the Strabler is one of my favorites, and this is the King Strabler. So I did not even think that I could afford this, and there's another one hiding somewhere in the world. I'm gonna get that too. But this is something that, if you can see it, the grain of the cow is just really spectacular. And the way you can tell that it's the, you know, real Visvim article, there's these sort of grommets here like the conchos. And you know, to me, this piece is great because it doesn't read like, oh, that kid's wearing a flex. This reads like that guy got that jacket and has been wearing it a lot. And that's what the thing that I love the most about Visvim. So. All right, so this is the flex piece of the moment. This is the new rider, which I waited for over a year to get. And I don't know too many people in the United States that got it. Matthias told me from the store that 2 people ordered from the United States, but I was too cheap to order from the United States because it was really, really expensive. But this one is quite cool. No one's ever really shown the details up close. But I'm not really a big fan of horsehide, I sort of mentioned that before. But this jacket sort of feels like the badass sort of, you can wear this all the time, every day, and it just gets better and better. And you know, I wore this in Europe on vacation for New Year's, and you know, this jacket just really just kills people because if you don't know, it sort of just passes as like a leather jacket, and then the kids that know and they see the tabs and all that shit, you know, and just people really like respond to it. And I love this jacket because I'm a big Strabler guy, as you see. You'll see some more in a second, but this is like a hybrid. This is sort of the modern Visvim cut, drop shoulder, and just really everything that the company is sort of doing in one piece. So, all right, so this is my next project. I absolutely fell for this piece because it's Strabler, it's light jacket, and it's IT. So this piece was never released in the United States. You had to go to Japan to get it. And so far, they released New Rider. To me, I love this piece, but because it's got the new silhouette and it's a little bit more form-fitting, I just don't see myself wearing it. So I'm gonna customize this and actually create the next sort of custom piece that I do coming up. I actually have the light jacket spot versions from the season before. I think it's 21 autumn winter, I think. And I'm actually going to take the pattern and create a full jacket out of this. And that's something I'm very much looking forward to because there's just really nothing that matches this. And I think that this as a leather jacket would be just fucking incredible. So this is one I'm particularly proud of. We shot this already when we were initially going through the collection, but as you can see, this was a vest, but it is now a jacket. So I even took the hardware, and Uncle Tony, who you'll affectionately know from some of my other videos, this is really something that he nailed. It took him over 6 months to find this leather, but it's really spectacular. I mean, I don't know if you can, I mean, everybody knows that Visvim leather is next level, and you can see this nubuck is really special, but the leather he was able to find is really fantastic. Okay, so I'm actually now wearing the light jacket version, and if you can see, this is actually technically called black. So, funny story about these. I passed up on getting a pink kerchief because I didn't want to be too much of a glutton and get both the purple and pink kerchief, and so instead of getting the pink kerchief, I chose these two jackets. It was the only miss that I've made when I've spent big money on Visvim resale. However, these jackets are so versatile and so awesome. I just love them. But the problem is that before you get these things, you oftentimes don't try them. So this one I found recently on resale, the one I'm wearing, and it's a size 5. These are two size 4s, so I'm actually going to take the pattern for the sleeves of the size 4 and cannibalize it and create the light jacket from the IT vest that I just showed. But I really love this green, so I'm now going to try to find a green in size 5, and then I'll throw this one up to the community because I think that I really don't like to keep things unless, you know, for me, I have a use for them. So, but this jacket is one of my favorites. It's definitely one of my most worn. And now, when it was dyed, some fucking sick person also took off the peerless and dyed the thing in a darker shade of blue. So, a man after my own heart. All right, so another bit of Visfluencing. This is the jacket that I recently convinced young Graham to go for, and I think you're all right with it, but this is my favorite sort of down jacket that Visvim has ever made. Better than the Kerchief, better than any of the other down jackets that they made, the 101. I really love this one because it just gives the Strabler silhouette a modern uptake, and you know, to me, this has got attitude. And I just love this jacket because it just makes me feel like a badass. This was the first piece of Visvim that I really bought for expensive money. It's also coincidentally the only piece of Visvim that I really got beat on. The dye on this one is incredible. I use it all the time. And this is another piece that like definitely is a reason why I collect Visvim. It just shines. I mean, and what he's been doing with Nylon, he's been learning so much since 15 Autumn Winter, which is my favorite season. And this piece reminds me that Visvim can be practical as well as edgy and cool at the same time. So this was the second piece of Visvim that I bought for really serious money. Also through Simple Kicks, so shout out to him. I saw this and I was like, if I'm gonna live in New York, I definitely wanna have something that I can turn into a winter jacket without wearing a winter jacket. And what I love about these first release pieces is they have these tone-on-tone zippers, and I've never seen that before. So the thing is that this jacket is sort of unique though, because the other two from this series, the gray and then the orange, have off-color zippers. This is the only one that has monotone zippers and matches the jacket. I also think this shit's got crazy attitude. So this was another cool piece. I got really lucky. I don't know what size this is. 4. It's a 4. Good call, Graham. We recently went through all of my bags and tags downstairs, and I even found that I have the bags and tags for this, which is pretty amazing. But It's not in the best condition. Like some of the paint is chipping off, which is kind of a bummer. This is how it is. So for me, I really love this because this piece reminds me of my good friend Bois, the boy. The way we met was I was gonna buy his gray piece. And actually I'm happy I didn't because he had a size 3 and this is a size 4. And for me, this is like a clout piece. You know, this is a friends and family. You could only buy it if you were in the very inner circle of Visvim, and naughty, they sold it. It's like selling your NSO Cartier. Don't do it. But this for me is a piece that, again, I love wearing with a fucking gray hoodie and just turning it into like a down jacket that's not a down jacket. And another pro tip for those who like the Strabler, fold your belts. So this is another one that I just really never thought that I was gonna have. One thing you'll notice from my collection is I really don't wear a lot of blue, but for some reason, this piece just really speaks to me. I can tell you why, specifically because this is from my favorite season, 15 Autumn Winter, and this is the King Thorson jacket. Everybody loves the green one, the olive, and the black one, but to me, this was the most slept on piece, and I never thought I would ever see one, let alone get one in my size. And this is where the sizing variation from Visvim goes crazy, because this is actually a size 2. And you can see, I can wear a size 2, and I'm not a small guy. You know, this is I like the sort of more fitted military look. I think that some people don't like it as much. Fold it up in here. But basically, I just think this jacket is the shit. And you know, what you can't see is that if you live in cold climates, this jacket is the best. And 15 Autumn Winter is the best because the pockets have this fuzz. So you literally can walk around with no gloves on, with the pockets with the fuzz, and you really can take some serious temperatures. So this is a piece that I really, really love, and there just has so many cool details. Like, again, if you never saw Thorson's, you sort of maybe wouldn't get it, but you can see, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there's actually 2 different flocks on the same sleeve. And that continues all the way down too. And these are just some details. But for me, this Limonta nylon was the first fabric that I was just like, wow, that shit is crazy. Mud dyeing, Limonta nylon. Hiroki looked all over the world for the best nylon, and he found this factory that Limonta that had this, you know, crazy, you know, catalog of all these nylons they've ever done. And it's amazing because I actually bought, I believe it was from 22 Autumn Winter, the blue and the olive drop shoulder Thorsons, and the materials and the techniques that were employed first in this very artisanal selection from 15 Autumn Winter, they really have reached a peak, because now Hiroki is doing crazy shit to nylon, and I thought that I was never going to be able to find this jacket, so I bought the 22 Autumn Winter version thinking that I would never find this one. And then another one of my friends in Korea found this and a doTERRA, also another particularly rare piece, with tags, bag, everything. And so this is the beginning of the full set of the Limonta nylon Thorsons that I have, and I'm going into my favorite one next. So this is the black version. Now, interestingly, this one is also a little larger. So this is a size 3. I've now had 3 15 Autumn Winter blacks. They trade for less money. People don't really understand why these jackets are so special, but I have to say, I really love the size 3. I had a size 4 also, but again, Phoenix, my plug, is a size larger than me, and I always hand off the size 4s that I get of the 15 Autumn Winters to him, because he's a big Thorson guy, and for me, the size 3 is a little more oversized. This is like a traditional oversized fit. And I just love this jacket, but you know, this is one of those things that if you didn't know, you wouldn't really see how special it is until you see it in person. And also, if you can look at the condition, I mean, the condition of this jacket is really, really nice. And I wear this one quite frequently. I haven't worn it actually in 6 months or so, but I really like this jacket. All right, this is the full situation. So this is the King Limonta Nylon Olive Thorson bomber jacket in size 2. A lot of people have this jacket, so it's not particularly rare, but it's definitely one of those pieces that like is the grail of a lot of people's collections. But for me, I'm big into patterns. So when I saw the pattern and the dyeing of this one, I was just sold. You know, it's just, there's something about it that's just really unique and special. And for me, I love green, so it was clear that this was the one that I needed, but I just think that there is nothing like this jacket. And you know, for me, I really love the idea of the green and the mud dyeing on the Limonta nylon. And I'm going to show you some other pieces that are from this season as well. And I think that maybe it would be cool just to kind of show. So I actually have one of very few people that has the set. And I love this jacket. To me, it's just one of the coolest pieces. And the olive Limonta nylon is so cool. It's called Nacer or Nacer Ultra Light. And how do I know that? Because the piece I'm going to show you next, which is a crazy grail, is the Garage Down Jacket. And the Garage Down Jacket, the Flying Ace, the set of Thorsons, and the Sanjuros are the like grails of the grails from the 15 Autumn Winter collection. So this piece, again, is always going to be up there. And if you ever have a size 5 of this one or the black, I would do unhealthy things for either of those. There's just something unique about this piece, and to me, there's just nothing like Sanjuro from this season, because you have the combination of the Nacer Ultralight, you have a combination of the, you know, the cut, and this piece, you have to remember, you have to go back to 15 when this piece initially came out. This was like the FBT for Visvim. This was the Cristo. This created the modern infatuation and obsession with Visvim for the average person. And for me, when I saw Nick Wooster and when I saw John Mayer wearing this jacket, it told me that Visvim was more than just a shoe company. Because he really wasn't known, Hiroki, for making stuff that was on this level. And this piece sort of broke the mold. And if you look closely, it's got a fucking green flock. And when I get into another piece that I'm going to show in a second, the flocking is particularly important to me because I really love the kimono aspect mixed with the MA1 and the shortness. Because I can wear this on a summer day, I can wear this on a fall evening, I can wear this in the winter with a hoodie underneath. And I'm actually one of the sick people that I actually tailor my hoodies so to remove the hood. Just so I have a pouch, because I like to have pockets and a pouch. Sometimes you just want to keep your hands differently. But there's just something about this. I mean, the way that the patina of this jacket, and I wear all this stuff. These are not, you know, like closet queens. I literally wear them. And this one and the black one in particular, I wear a lot. So now we've gone to the black one. And I want to digress for a moment because I really fuck with this jacket. The black of the 15 Autumn Winter just really, to me, speaks to the usability and wearability of Visvim. I can wear this to a board meeting, I can wear this to work every day, I can wear this to a meetup of watch people, car people. Everybody fucks with this jacket because they're like, I've never seen anything like that before. And so to me, the 15 autumn winter, again, because you have the pockets, there's nothing like this jacket. And nobody in the clothing industry has done anything close to this. Now, Visvim's done continual updates and renditions of this jacket, but this jacket, the 15 autumn winter, inspired me to push that much further. And I'm gonna digress from the 15 autumn winter section for a second, because to me, the piece that I did next, which I customized, is something that has become like a real go-to for me. Something incredibly special. So this was actually from 19 autumn winter, and this was in caramel pig leather. But I'm a nut job, and I killed an 18 fall winter Sanjuro and took the flocking from it and dyed this one in black. And to me, I really, really fuck with this piece. This is something that no person would do. No person would customize IT Visvim. And I actually even got my own YKK zipper because I couldn't find a Riri in black. But eventually I'm gonna find a Riri in black just so I can have the full Riri. But there's just something about this one that just is like, to me, again, the ultimate versatility. It's thick, it's relatively, you know, all season. I've worn this in 20 degrees, I've worn this in 40 degrees, I've worn this in 60 degrees, and to me, there's just really nothing like this. Again, I haven't been wearing my chain out, but like, this is pretty much my uniform. This is a Visvim Sport, and the P, this Sanjuro and the CMYK pants, some Rick Owens shoes of some description, my watch. This is pretty much me. So this is my other favorite jacket from my collection. I have a lot of jackets. I probably said that 3 or 4 times today, but I really mean it with this one. This speaks to me in so many ways because I really love the artisanal nature of this fucking patchwork jacket. But the really cool thing about this is that this jacket introduced me to Limonta, because in New York on Grand Street, little known fact, there is a Limonta store. So I actually walked into the store and I said to them, guys, I love this jacket, but there's a massive Kofu panel here and it really fucks up the vibe of the jacket. So this little guy, I'm okay with. Not there. There. Little guy. Little guy. So, is it possible that I can reach out to the factory and if I could ask them if I could buy a yard of the Neue Ultralight? And they were like, are you all right? Are you on your meds? And they were like, we can ask, but there's no chance that you're gonna get it. I heard back in a week and they sent me a yard of the Neue Ultralight in this unprocessed. So this is really cool. So the Neue was in several different colors, and that's the unprocessed nylon. And then I had my customizer literally cover the Kofu panel professionally, so you can see all the different panels. And this is a size 3, and it fits very, very small because it has the old Battle of Bighorn custard lining woven. So just, I don't know if you can really tell, but so this is a 3. It fits like a 2, but this is a jacket I'll always have in my collection and something that I really love because this was another one that really got me inspired into making the Visvim that I own my own. So this is another clout piece within the collection. And again, it shows you the sizing variation is absolutely out of control because this is a size 2. And I have many people who are asking me to be the backup and to have me sell this to them. But again, size 2 should not fit me, but it does. So this is the Flying Ace. This is a patchwork. And so this has got the Gore-Tex patch and some other unprocessed Limonta nylon. So this has been one of my favorite go-to jackets recently. I really love this piece, and it's just special to me because this represents, again, the culmination of my collecting journey as far as 15 Autumn Winter. You know, the only one that I'm missing. I had a Valdez in blue, but it's kind of like a daddy jacket to me. I'm going to show you guys a jacket in a second that I prefer, and this has much more vibe. So as far as the 15 Autumn Winter set, the only one I'm really missing is the blue Sanjuro 15 Autumn Winter. So if you have that, I will pay. Well, just because Graham told me I can't leave any stragglers. This is the Thorson Marque. Not really much to say, but it's a cool green color. Fuck the patch, and have a nice day. This is another piece that just sort of came into my collection randomly. I don't really wear a lot of blue, I told you, but I had this Douglas, and the reason why I like this one is the hand-stitched lining on the back, which is kind of cool. But the black and white version is not nearly as good, and this one is quite cool because I actually like the off-white lining on the inside as well. But this is one that I got from Matt. Thanks, Matt, and love this piece. This was one that I never thought that I would get, and I've been lucky enough to have it twice actually. So again, thanks to Matt, I have this Kuba. Kuba is really cool because it's reversible, and I traded my size 3, which I was lucky enough to get, for this size 4, and I just really love this vest. It's just one of those things that's just so versatile, and side pockets, just a really flexible, usable piece. Not crazy about the zipper, but I understand why they did it because it's actually reversible. And so you can, I'm just gonna throw it on backwards because this way you can really see it. But that lining is absolutely fucking nuts, and that's Hiroki. And just to see it from another perspective, I really love the vests for their dual purpose. And I mean, I don't think I'd ever wear it this way, but it's cool to know it's there. So this is another one of my favorites. I just got really, really lucky one day, and I found a guy who was willing to sell his first release Kora. And what's really special about this one is that it's the first release bandana. So, as you can imagine, pattern, but this like tentacle flower thing that they have going on down here is just fucking crazy. And again, this is one of those pieces that doesn't get enough wear, but this is some serious shit. And of all the black bandana pieces that I have, this is probably the best pattern and the most black. So, go. So this is a funny talking point. I got this vest because I thought I was never going to be able to find the gray Friends and Family Strabler down vest. And I love 101s, so this is a 101 down vest from the second release. They came out first blue and white, and this is actually called gray. Looks a little beige. What I really love is the lining. It's just so cool. And this super versatile piece, something that I just never wear that much. Again, I just have too much stuff, and this one always is. When you have the gray Friends and Family and you want a down vest, this one is always going to come second to that. But that doesn't mean this is any less cool of a piece. And in fact, I really love this piece, and especially what I'm wearing. When you wear a lot of black, it's a cool piece. So as far as down vests go, this is one of the best. And I really, really love this one. This one does get a lot of wear because it's super versatile and it's black. For me, I also really love the lining as well on the last piece, but this got this like micro houndstooth. It's like super cool. And it's a nice contrast to the tartan plaid from the inside of the other vest. Also quite gray. I wish they came out with a black 101 down jacket. Maybe they will. But this is as close as I'm gonna get for now, and with a black uneven hoodie, this is pretty much top. Go. So we're now going to enter into the 101 down zone. This is the 101XX Kofu, and I really love this jacket because this one combines that like African Kofu patchwork and the drop shoulder silhouette. So it's very modern. It's got the new lining, which is, you know, printed, much cooler. In my opinion, a lot easier to wear. Goes over a lot things a lot easier, and for me, this jacket's just fucking cool. Everybody who sees this jacket, who isn't into Visvim necessarily, they really respond to this jacket. It's sort of like Visvim's way of like proving that they can do this on more than a kerchief. And this silhouette is obviously much more modern than a kerchief, in my opinion, and I really just think this jacket is a winner. So the patterns on this one are really nice. I've had several of them already because, you know, it's a more modern piece, it's more accessible, but I really love the patterns and the fit on this one. So now we go into the older 101 downs. This is a super rare size 5. I generally am not a blue guy. Again, that 101XX aside, I really don't wear that blue that much, but I wanted to have the complete set of this. I love the 101. The 101's my favorite jacket, and to me, the down version is particularly cool. The blue is kind of slept on because to me, it's the weakest of all the colors, but that being said, the size 5 is quite cool. I wish I had the other 2, which I have in size 4, in size 5. So not too much to say about this, but it's got all the classic details. And again, the way that he treated the nylon is just fucking amazing. So, again, just because we all have a limited attention span, as you can see, I really love the 101 down jacket. And they really are quite cool. And in particular, the pink, purple, I think it's purple generally. I fucking love these jackets. And the way that the silver buttons and everything is just very subtle, and these jackets are really incredible. And the detailing on this compared to a kerchief, especially for the price point, because remember, in period, these were $34.50 and the kerchiefs were much less. The kerchiefs were around $2,700, and if you can see, the detailing of the nylon is just so incredible, and it's just a much more substantial jacket than a kerchief. So if you're asking me, I definitely go 101 down jacket all day. So I am now going into the kerchief section of my wardrobe. This was my ultimate grail for like 5 years. Before I bought Visvim, this was the first piece that I saw, and I was like, fuck, that's the coolest down jacket that I've ever seen. And so for me, this olive color is really amazing. And I really love the silver buttons. It's kind of unique because the other version I'm going to show you, the black version, it just has a little bit of a different vibe. The buttons are a little bit different. And to me, you know, this matte, but like very similar treatment on the nylon to the 101 down, you can see there's, you know, very clear delineations of like what the codes are that Hiroki's working with. And to me, this jacket and then one more, the Yukata that I'm going to show you in a little while, are just an incredible color. And I've never seen a down jacket in that color. So this is quite cool as well because like the 101 down, they also did a black version. But believe it or not, this is black. Even though it reads blue. There's also a blue version of this jacket, which is the same exact color as the 101 down, which again, I'm not really a blue guy, so I passed on that one, even though I've been offered it many times. And I really love this jacket. Again, this is one of these things that it just gets kind of lost in the shuffle, but this jacket is really, really cool. So, and this is kind of a weird one. I never saw this jacket before, but this is a reversible chambray kerchief from very, very early on in Hiroki's career. And the really cool thing about this one is it's completely reversible. It's just something really unique about that, just so you can get the vibe. It's so cool. I think that's just fucking cool. The gold buttons aren't necessarily for me, and this is definitely a collection piece. Something you'll never find again in a size 3. But haven't worn this one yet, and I don't think I will, but it's still there. So, welcome to my newest purchase. This is the Shibori Ginza exclusive in blue. As I said, I'm not really a blue guy, but I didn't really have a choice. I wasn't in Ginza for the show. This is where you have to really depend on proxies to get you stuff. Nobody in the United States would have had the opportunity to buy this at retail unless you were actually in the store in Japan. I was very fortunate, and I actually was able to end up getting a piece of each. So I have the blue, I have the black Crosby, and then I have the brown Kerchief, which I just got yesterday thanks to Grant. So I love this piece. It's one of these things where you have to see it in person because the 3D nature of the Shibori fabric is just really so fantastic. And even though it's blue, I think this with some blue jeans is just gonna crush it. So I'm not really a blue guy, but this one in particular, you know, this is something that I could see myself keeping. This is the companion piece to the Shibori Kerchief. This is the black Crosby. And so you can see the black versus, there's some blue somewhere here. Yep, I can't pick it up, but maybe you can. So, and actually, of all my shirts recently, this is my most favorite one. I've been wearing this exact outfit. T-shirt underneath, Shibori on top, new rider, and I've been wearing that probably the most recently because I just think this piece is super versatile. What you can't see from the camera is actually down-lined, and so it actually is like a mini kerchief. It's a good layering piece, and for me, I just love the black Shibori fabric. I'm really excited to get the brown one because the brown one, I think, combines the vintage element, traditional Japanese aesthetic, and to me, the accessible drop shoulder kerchief in brown. So I'm gonna show now what I think is the coolest kerchiefs that I own, carrying on from this. So I thought this would be quite cool. This is the only version of the Kora and Shibori fabric that they offered in America. So I got the last black one from Exposition. Shout to Matthias, thank you very much, and the crew. I thought it would be quite cool to compare, just so we can see the difference between a blue Shibori, this was my first piece, and the black. Just so we can kind of see the vibe here. This is another immersion deep into the Shibori archives. So for the Ginza collaboration that they did a couple months ago, 6 months ago, they did 3 colors of this Shibori fabric. And again, recently, this is my favorite fabric because it's got this 3-dimensional texture to it. So people will say, why the fuck are you holding a second one? The reason is because thanks to our intrepid, fearless leader, Vladi, who is the king of dyeing, post-buying, I can't find the black version of this jacket. So I decided, fuck it, let's see if I can dye the shit in black using traditional mud dyeing technique. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna see how it turns out. So, welcome to Kerchief Madness. This, I'm very, very happy to say, is my newest old kerchief. And so this is something that's particularly rare. So I'm not really into gold buttons, as I told you guys a couple times before, but I couldn't say no. The mud kerchief to me is like the holy grail. So I have never seen a 4 in person. I've seen it online, but I was fortunate enough to buy my first mud kerchief, and I thought it was such a good idea that I would buy a size 2 just to have in the collection. And actually it does fit. The patterns on the 2 actually are, in my opinion, much cooler than the patterns on the 3, but the 3 I wear with frequency because, you know, It's just fucking cool. There's just something about these jackets that just shows everything that Hiroki can do. And I really love the mud kerchief in particular. So this is actually my most complimented kerchief. It's also old cut. Something this is like within the vernacular. This is something important. So when you're looking at all kerchiefs, they're not created the same. This has the you know, the traditional original lining, hand stenciled, and the gold buttons is another way you can tell. This is actually a kind of unique piece, and I love this panel on the shoulder. I think that's just so fucking cool. Black is kind of fun because it's not really black necessarily. You have a lot of blue hits because black ages to blue. But that's why I never collected a blue kerchief. I felt like I really crossed that bridge already with the black ones. And I just think the black is just the most wearable, the most usable. I always reach for the black kerchiefs just because the colored ones that you're gonna see in a second are so loud, and that's just not my personality necessarily. So for me, I love having the old cut kerchief because this reminds me of where Visvim started, and the new cuts that I'm gonna show you sort of are where it's going. All right, so this was another incredible grab Phoenix got for me. This was my first new cut black kerchief. I had the colored in purple and pink, and I was just like, where the fuck am I gonna wear those jackets? So the really cool thing about this one is it does have some of these faded patches, and I really like that, but it's also got these really cool hits of peach. And it's funny because the black kerchiefs now, peach has become a signature. So to me, this one is just a great piece because it's just so much more wearable with the peach hits. And I think that, sort of like, as I said, it's where Visvim was going before and now where they're headed. So I'm gonna show you my score from 23 autumn winter, and I think they're sort of companion pieces. This jacket holds a special meaning to me because this is the second kerchief that I got at retail. I want to talk for a second about how you actually get a kerchief. Sure, you can go buy it and spend big money to get it, but you have to wake up really early on Black Friday in order to get one of these. And it was really dope because, again, speaking about the community, it's complete luck of the draw. So I got there, I was the 5th person in line on Black Friday this year, which also happens to be my birthday. And everybody in front of me, they were all there for different things. And that's the cool thing. The couple in front of me actually got the 4 and 5 that came out of the Carmel store opening. And so they didn't need a kerchief. And I'm lucky because if they did, I would have been aced out. And I was the 5th person in line at 6:30 in the morning on Black Friday. So it was also really dope because one of the guys who was in front of me basically said to me, I know you want a kerchief really bad, and I really want to offer you my spot in line. And I'm grateful he did because this was the only kerchief that they delivered in color for Black Friday. And I got really lucky. It's got some amazing purple hits, and this is a piece I'll keep forever, and I really love it because this, to me, speaks to the community, the Visvim community. So this is also another special kerchief to me. I live in New York, so this to me always reminds me of the Knicks. It's got orange, it's got blue, it's just a fucking cool piece. And again, I always try to be respectful to my girlfriend and not try to completely clash, but she does not like this jacket. This to me also represents community as well because I waited in line at Black Friday, my first time, to get this jacket, and it's just cool. You know, orange not my color, but it's something that I have in the collection because to me, this was the first kerchief that I could buy at retail, and so I took the opportunity to do so, and it's always gonna have a special meaning to me. So sometimes I just want to talk about the back because look at this back panel. So this piece is loud, it's crazy. I don't know anybody that could wear this and be introverted. But when you look at a kerchief, there's a lot of things you have to look at. So it's not just the color, it's not just the cut, it's also the symmetry. And if you look at my kerchiefs, I'm carefully choosing the plackets that accent the regular lapels. And then in particular, I'm looking for a large back piece. So this pink one in particular was a holy grail for me because I saw this and I saw somebody wearing it and it just blew me out of the water. And I haven't yet had a chance to wear this, but I absolutely love this piece. The back panel in particular makes it. After I sold my purple kerchief, which I got in the winter of 21, I was a little bit bummed because I couldn't find another new cut. And then my friend Tokyo Whale came through for me and I got this beautiful purple one. And the purple to me is much more wearable than the pink. I think it just goes with a lot more things and goes really nicely with my outfits. And I really love purple and black together. I think that's quite a classy combination. What I wanted to do is I wanted to compare the new versus the old. And the old cut is just such a beautiful pattern. I got really lucky. I found a size 5 from 14 autumn winter. And this piece always makes me happy. But I want to compare the fit because they're really very different. And you can see how easy I got that off. But I think there's just something magic about these old kerchiefs. And to me, there's nothing better than a really beautiful old kerchief pattern. It's so good. So, I mean, they're very hard to find, they're very rare, and people want a fortune for them. But when you can find them, I would always say do it. And I would always invest in the old cut. And then what I mean by old cut is the shoulders. The others are drop shoulder, so the shoulder starts a little lower. But as you can see, if you get it in the right size, they fit the same. And for me, this size 5 was something I couldn't pass up. And I'm really happy I did because this is a great piece. So, all right, so we've gone back into outerwear. So this is a super rare Kodiak. I actually don't love Visvim's proprietary bandana, but for some reason, shock, it's green, that I love this one. So you have proprietary bandana, kerchief style, but it's on a Kodiak. So this actually has its own hood as well, but my girlfriend actually wears this more than me. And it's kind of funny because, if I can find it. All right, so she snagged herself on on something when she was in Jackson Hole. And look at the repair job that somebody did. And I kind of love it because it's in keeping with the Visvim world, you know? Gives it more of a vibe. And she was so mortified. She was afraid to her core because she came home after wearing the jacket. She's like, literally, I think you're gonna kill me. And I said, no, I'm not. And she's like, what? You're not mad? I'm like, no. I think it makes the jacket look cooler. So, Kodiak. Oh, there's the hood. Let's do it. All right. So, this, I'm just, you know, I always wanted a duck camo jacket. And for me, these sort of hit the spot. I don't know why, but the silhouette's quite cool. It's very, very warm. And for me, it just always seemed like something that I would want to try. So I did. I haven't worn it very much, but it's a good jacket when I'm going out to have a smoke at the end of the night. So for me, this is a winner. It's green, obviously, so this is another one that I really like, but haven't found the occasion yet to wear often. All right, so we've now allowed the yukata to enter the chat. This is my favorite down jacket that Visvim ever made. I saw Hiroki wearing this in person in mustard, and I almost went for the mustard, but then I was like, I like green, and where are you gonna find a flocking that's actually woven like that in green? And this is like the ultimate swag jacket. I feel like If you don't have swag walking out of the house in this jacket, you should just pack it in. To me, the mud-dyed nylon, everything is just so right. I love this jacket. And this was one that was definitely on my top 5. And when I got this, all my friends who are in the community were like, why the fuck do you like that jacket so much? And I'm like, you haven't seen it. So don't tell me that you don't like it. I saw it on Hiroki and I knew that this jacket had a vibe and I fucking love it. So I'm a big Yukata fan. I'm about to show you a doTERRA as well, and the doTERRA is a really cool version of this jacket. The sizing is not as nice, it's not as oversized, it's a little bit tighter, but that's classic Visvim, you know, it's sort of hit and miss. Some of these are so nice. The fabric processing, some of them are really nice with the material, but it's very rare that you find both, and this jacket is both. So this is the doTERRA I was mentioning. It's very similar to the Yukata, but it's definitely more jacket. So again, you have this woven textile sort of knit fabric, and I really love it. So this is the blackest of all the Visvim outerwear nylon dyed pieces. I don't know what processing they use. They say mud dyeing. I don't really see it. So you can see it's the same processing. I actually feel like it's a different color. Maybe I'm going colorblind, but I don't know if the camera can pick that up. Yeah, I think it's a different color. It's from the same season, but they're both called black. The Kerchief is definitely more navy to me, and the doTERRA is definitely more black. But this is another swag jacket. I really like this one as well. It's a little too tight on me, so anybody who has a 4 out there, I will trade you. And I have bags and tag for this too. This is a really cool piece that is totally slept on. I actually was gonna sell this with Matt for a while, and then I just got it back because I just said to myself, you know what? This piece is like so typical of what makes Visvim great. It's got a Riri zipper that I can't actually zip because, as usual with Riri, they're quite temperamental. Of course, whatever. So this actually, in normal production trim, guys, has white lapels and, scalloping on the shoulders and on the pockets. So I actually custom did black on the pocket lining, and on the shoulders I did black suede. And to me, the jacket is totally awesome. This is a 2009, so it's very early. And to me, it's a large and fits normally today. I could wear this any day, anywhere, and people wouldn't know what it is. And the really cool thing about this is it's got the wind stopper. So you have the interior lining that then made its way to iris. And people have been wearing those jackets for a long time, and I think the flunk is totally slept on. And now, especially since I made it my own, I really like this piece. And this is another one I'll have forever. All right, Hadrian. So the Hadrian is quite cool because it was one of the first times that Visvim used Gore-Tex. So it's got the very old lining, all seam taped Gore-Tex, completely waterproof. And I love the ribbing or sort of shoulder suede. I don't know what that is, but it's awesome. It's got a great hood. It's a great rain jacket. It's just really super purposeful. All these pieces I'm going to show you now are, sort of sport leisure pieces that are really useful, especially in New York because the climate's changing all the time. And I always like to have one rain piece in the car at all times because to me, you never know. And this was my jacket that's been replaced by the next two. This is another piece that everybody has been completely sleeping on. I absolutely am obsessed with. There's something in my pocket. Oh, who knew? Very practical. So for me, I love Visvim Sport. I know a lot of people didn't get it. I think it went over a lot of people's heads, but Visvim Sport to me is a combination of modern silhouettes, super luxurious fabrics, and really nice dye on pieces you can wear in any situation, any circumstance, any context, and beat the shit out of. And so that's why I love it. The anorak in particular was something that people just didn't get. It's quite expensive at retail. I got mine on Grailed for like a third of retail, and for me, this piece is just so practical, and it just makes any outfit look cool because, as you see, it's really black. And I've not seen something that is as functional with the tape Gore-Tex as this, but also so cool. Thanks to Aaron Valia. This is the G-Line Coach's jacket. So this jacket's particularly cool because it's hand distressed, and this is the first time that Gore-Tex was ever manipulated by a designer outside of the factory. Because Hiroki literally, as the story goes, as legend goes, when he was living in LA and some of the earliest workers at the store hand distressed all of these jackets over a weekend before they went on sale. And I shit you not, this is the only piece that consistently gets me compliments from Visvim. And I love that because it's simple, but at the same time, I've worn this in multiple countries, multiple continents, and everybody responds to it. And I think it's just really cool, it's super practical, and completely waterproof, which is really cool. So, this piece also gets me talking about collaborations. So, collaborations are really as the spirit of the fashion scene today, and the first collaboration that Visvim did with another company was with Moncler. So it's very rare that people know that Visvim did a collab with another company first before they started doing their own Gore-Tex collaboration. So this is particularly neat because it's got this like very interesting sort of sheen and process applied to it, and it really elevates the classic Moncler look. And the way you can tell the Visvim collaboration is because the Moncler insignia is in white. So particularly cool piece. Just speaking about the collaborations, and this is the first time the Visvim had branded from another company. So we're gonna switch this up a little bit. We've been doing this for a couple hours already, and getting a little tired of changing all the time. But I thought that it would be really cool to go through the details of some of the shirts. So a lot of people collect Visvim differently. I actually don't own any pants of Visvim other than one pair of sweatpants from the VS Sport collection. And the reason why is the silhouettes just don't work for me, but I absolutely love the shirts. So for me, it's outerwear, it's knits, some cut and sew. So for me, I don't really think that's that interesting. So I'm gonna let somebody else delve into that. But as far as shirts go, the shirts are really interesting to me because it allows me to add another point to my wardrobe. And this is a particularly cool one. This is the Wallace Kofu non-pattern Indigo. And I really love this shirt. The details on it are amazing. These have a crazy hype about them, but I think it's completely justified. It's one of the rare ICT shirts that I really love. And you can see some of the repair work, and the fabric is so intricate and so beautiful, and it just looks great. You can wear it as an overshirt, you can wear it as a main piece. But again, pattern, pattern, pattern. The pattern really matters on these shirts, especially the patchwork ones. And I really think that these need to be seen to be believed. Fairway. So Fairway is a really cool shirt. It's actually a linen shirt, 100% linen. And these shirts really go well in summer. I particularly love the gray one. I'm not really a blue guy. Again, as I've told you guys multiple times, I'm not really a blue guy, but to me, there's something about the processing of the fabric, the linen that they did, that is really cool. And I love these shirts. They're really particularly nicely done. And as far as ICT goes, again, this is another big hit. So I love the Fairway. They also come in a long sleeve version. I don't really typically do long sleeve button down shirts, so I chose the short sleeve, and I think I made the right choice. Okay, so my favorite silk shirt. This is called the Cop. There's another one which is white with black webbing, and I really love that shirt too, but I'm not really a white shirt wearing guy. So I love the Cop. It's just got this incredible detailing, and I was really fortunate to get this black one in original condition, I was even more fortunate to get this green one in original condition. And my boy Spartacus, you know who you are, got me with the big boy size. So my favorite shirt out of all my shirts is actually my Wallace. So I love this Wallace. Now, why do I love this so much? Obviously it's green. However, what's really dope about this particular shirt is that it's got vintage bandana. So talking about vintage bandana again, it's really something special because it has a completely different impression to the proprietary bandana. And now Visvim is getting really, really good at doing the proprietary bandana. This is a new iteration of the proprietary bandana. They've also done a kerchief out of it now. And I really like this rendition. I think it's very cool. However, when you compare it to the Wallace, I mean, it's no contest. The Wallace has such a different impression. And to me, the material fit and finish is totally different. And you really feel like you're wearing something artisanal when you're wearing the vintage bandana. Now, moving on to the older stuff, I really think that the older stuff is great for the collection. I think these pieces are important because these led to the true sort of appreciation of the masses of people of bandana shirts. But for me, these are collection pieces. I don't wear them because I have better shirts. But that being said, I like them because they sort of are a vibe together. They do. So let's talk about Duke, the Duke foliage. I really love the Duke foliage. Some unseen things that if you don't know, you don't know. The Duke actually has 4 pockets. Quite cool. I love the Duke foliage in black in particular. I think this is a really classy shirt. I like it in white also, but the Nautilus spiral pattern is much cooler on the black. I really love the black one. I wear it all the time. The white one is a collection piece. I have it just because I really love the vibe of the shirt, but I can't see myself wearing it very often. So for me, it's the black one. The black one is definitely in my top 5 shirts. I don't see that changing anytime soon. It's really just a special piece. So that's the Duke. These are particularly cool. This is the Ellery that Matt, shout out to Matt, really loved. His first love was this guy, but I also started coming with these odd ones a while back. I really like these shirts. I think that they're particularly cool. They say VSVM on them. I'm not into branding, so I don't wear these shirts, but I appreciate the technique and I love the colors, and I think they're great for summer. And if I was in Miami at a certain point, I would definitely consider wearing these. But for me, the VS and the VM is a little bit too much, but I like the shirts. All right, more Elleries. So these I have recently come to start wearing quite a bit, the black one. The blue one is a collection piece. I love it, but it's also blue and not really my vibe. The black one is super subtle. I really appreciate the details. And if you come up on it, you can really see just how cool and how unique the pattern is. They also have 4 pockets, which I think is quite cool. It's pretty useful sometimes if you want to keep something on the front of your shirt instead of in your shirt and your pants pocket. And as anyone who wears a CMYK pants knows, shit falls out of the pockets all the time. So it's a lot safer in the front of these pockets. They're pretty functional, and I love this Ellery, the black one in particular. Free edges. So these 2 are really, really cool. I always love this style. I think this pattern, the black and the ivory really works well. The mustard also really works quite well. I don't wear the mustard as much just because I haven't found a pants combination that really works with it, but I did just get a pair of Rick Owens vintage lows in a similar color to this, so I will try this more. The quality of this shirt needs to be appreciated, and I'm not quite sure you can really pick it up on the camera, but this silk is another level, and these shirts are totally slept on. You can get one of these under 500 bucks usually, and this is a steal, in my opinion. So these are Visvim's take on the Duke Hawaiian shirt. And I really, they called them the Aloha, and I really like these 2. The white one in particular is incredibly rare. I've never seen another one. So these, you know, with these older shirts, it's sort of take what you get. I don't think this one would even fit me. I don't think it would fit around my leg, but I just thought it was really cool with the white with the green. The brown one in particular is also just a fucking vibe. I haven't found the occasion to wear this yet, but I'm really looking forward to it because I just think it's a cool shirt. So for all of you high rollers, this is the Wallace Dice shirt. I'm a big fan of this shirt. I really like the black blue one in particular. It just has a cool vibe, and I've worn this one in particular a couple times. Haven't yet had the occasion to wear this one, but when you find a size 5, you gotta grab it. So I definitely was very fortunate to find size 5s in both. These are cool shirts. The process for the graphics, so cool. Love the green dice. And for me, these are both collection pieces. I can't see them going. All right, so this is a lesson in restraint because unfortunately, a dry cleaner fucked up my brown zeal. So if anybody out there has another brown zeal in size 4 or 5, I would absolutely kill for it because these two are my favorite shirts of all. I think they're very me, they're unique, the pattern is insane, the treatment on the shirt is absolutely next level. Now inherently you're gonna get some shedding, and this one shrunk like crazy, but this is a 4 on the right. It looks like it's a 2, but it still somehow fits me, thank God. These are absolutely my favorite shirts. The pattern is so next level. The brown one in black with particular is my favorite, and it's a bummer because I literally had to restrain myself from killing the dry cleaner who almost fucked this shirt up. But, you know, it's just a shirt in the final analysis. Eventually I will find another one, I will buy another one. But these are my favorite, the Irving Zeal. All right, these are 2 more incredible Katazuri shirts that I really, really love. The green shirt is probably my most worn article of Visvim on a use number basis. What you can't quite see is that the dye is hand stenciled on the inside and gives this amazing pattern on the outside. So the shirt is black and they stencil that green. Absolutely incredible. So this shirt I got from Gian, and this guy I got from Vladi. This was definitely one of my top 5 shirts. I haven't really had the occasion to wear it yet because it's so extroverted, but I just think this shirt is fucking amazing. It's done with a very similar pattern, and the Katazuri process is just so incredibly cool. I'm a huge fan of both of these shirts. In particular, I have a green CMYK homme plissé pants, and I have a full green fit that goes crazy with this one. And this was my Grail shirt, biggest Grail shirt, always was my Grail. And this shirt, again, the craft is amazing. These are never going anywhere. And if I can find more Katazuri pieces, I would love to own them. So these are 2 of the coolest shirts of this season, I think. The Iris Moana. So I don't know if you can really see it, but the detailing is really nice. And another really cool feature, they have pockets. Kind of cool. So I ordered the black from the trunk show, and I really was into the black one, so I had to chase down the green one also. And then when I went to the trunk show most recently, about 10 days ago, Kasuya was wearing the brown one, which I tried, and I was like debating it because, as a couple of our guys know, it was quite expensive at US retail. Japanese retail was much better, but now I think I'm gonna chase down the brown one also because it's just, when living in New York, the other cool thing is you can't really see it, but basically it has a very light down fill. So they've been doing that on a bunch of their shirts, and I have a few more that we're going to show you in a second that are quite similar, but this is my favorite aesthetic of those shirts. So this is kind of an interesting update on the cornet, classic style, but again, has that kind of down fill. It's really hard, maybe you can hear it. I really love this shirt. Again, trunk show, and the cool thing is that you have pockets as well. So it's actually a little bit more functional than the classic cornet. This came in green and then beige as well. I probably will get the green one eventually just because I love green, but don't have it yet. I mean, as Graham has always told me, I think I need a bigger closet, and we live in New York, so. But the black is super functional, and I've worn it a few times and I really like it. So this is kind of an interesting one. I don't really typically wear long sleeve shirts, but I tried on for my buddy Phoenix, you know who you are. During the trunk show of this period, I tried a gray version of this it's a shirt technically called the Kisi. Has these sort of rounded pockets, like a really beautiful detail. And I just saw the black one come available, and I'm not really into text, but I do really like the embroidery of the In Quality We Trust. And oddly, this has become my most worn shirt recently. I've worn it on 3 European trips, and people just love it. They give it a lot of compliments. Not that I really care about that, but I do think that the embroidery in particular is just really nice. So even as Visvim is moving more towards logo embroidery, I think that when it's done right, it can be really beautiful. All right, I guess I'm your daily Visvim pizza man. We thought it would be kind of cool to show. So when I collect something, I try to collect all of it if I really like it. So thanks to Graham also helping me track down this pink, although they call it light purple, not really sure why. And the olive, which I think is also probably the best color of the 3, unless you're more into the darker purple. And it's really cool to see because you just don't really see this color very often. And I don't know if the quality is coming through on the camera, but just to the hand. And also, thank you to Ashal, because he got the green one first, and I had some serious envy. I never really did long sleeve shirts, like I said, but this Kisi is really, a focus of the new collections, and I think it's just really nice as an overshirt, or you could wear it closed. I mean, you can see the presentation is different. They clearly treat it differently within the company, so kind of cool. Yeah. So these are some really interesting ones. The Irving Pantera, and then the flower or sort of feather shirt. I don't wear loud colors very much, as you can see from my wardrobe, but my shirt selection, my shirt game is pretty loud, I would say. I really love the feather shirt in particular because the gold is such a pale lame gold that it just really works nicely. And I think that the hidden placket really gives an elegance to that shirt that is missing from a lot of shirts today. And the Pantera is done with a very similar patterning process to the Katazuri. It's not hand done, but the shirt just shines. And there's something about this gold color and just the subtle shades of gold that really makes these shirts special. So, I've told you multiple times that I'm not a label guy, but for me, this shirt just works really well. It's Visvim at its best with a black version of the gold feathers that I just showed you. And when I get the bandwidth and the time, I'm actually gonna hand paint that Visvim bowling logo on the back in matte black. I think it's gonna be a fun, meditative process. I think it will look way cooler, and I absolutely love this shirt. The Irving has been like one of my favorite shirts forever, and I think it's gonna be a fun process for me to paint that. So I thought that was quite cool to share. But the next one I wanted to show is the Irving Peerless. So I have every single color of it. The black is my favorite. Everybody asks me what FIL means. We all know it's Freedom International Laboratory, but hey. The pink with the blue hits. And then there's a more simple version. That's the ivory color, which they've now used as a lining for the 101XX IT and a few others, and the blue version with white. Love these shirts. They're so underrated. The tonal buttons are really cool. And except on the blue has sort of brown buttons. But love these shirts, and one of my favorites. Okay, so I'm gonna end with my favorite shirt. My favorite shirt that Visvim did is one that most people don't really fuck with for a number of reasons. I don't really love branding. We've talked about this multiple times already in this video. And if you're watching to the end, thank you, honestly, because this has been sort of Herculean, and thanks to Graham for doing all of this. But I absolutely fuck with this shirt. This is my favorite shirt by far, my most worn other than the green Cotton-Suede shirt. So this shirt came in a couple different renditions. There's one that's often mistaken for black, but it's not black. It's really blue, and you can sort of get it, the two of them together. And the blue has red back. Really cool. Big fan of that shirt. And then these two, the twins, I call them. They're complete opposites of each other, and I really love that. I love that the white shirt is not really a white, it's more of a cream or a bone. And I love that the red is not too red. It's bright, but it's a great shirt. Love both of them. So this is a hotly contested item. I missed out on buying the Douglas at retail because I was just buying too late. And the Lakeshore kind of has this like manga inspired style to it. And this has hand embroidery also. This is what they call a souvenir jacket. So this is like their version of the highest non-leather good that they make. And it's also silk. Classic, like basically to the Japanese what a varsity jacket is to us. It's also reversible, which is kind of cool. And the funniest part about this jacket is that on the back, the monkey. So this is kind of a funky one as well. Thanks to Matt for sourcing this. But I never knew this existed. Then I went down a rabbit hole recently about horsehide. So horsehide, obviously, particularly unique material. And this is a slightly different version of the horsehide of the two pieces I'm going to show you, which are my, I would think it's fair to say, grails of my whole collection. But basically, Anna, denim doctor in LA, helped me because the jacket is a size 3 and I'm not a small Japanese man. And so actually, this is a fully custom piece as well, because Anna was able to take the horsehide from the inside and replace it with just some calf, because we don't really care. And she created a cuff. And this is going to come into play later because the jacket was too short for me and it didn't really fit. So she was able to extend it as well. She's really a genius. So I'm probably the only person that customizes Visvim to this level, but it's because I really wanted a 2-button leather blazer. And I was looking forever for it. And thanks to Matt and Graham, I found it. All right, so another new style for me, when I was presented the opportunity to get my Grail 101, the same seller also had available this jacket, which is a very rare iteration of the Varsity IT. The really cool thing about this particular piece is that it's a horsehide. And the horsehide, I don't know if you can really catch it on the screen, but basically it's an incredibly just unique iteration of it. And so, thing for me, I don't like cinching on jackets. So Anna, also from Denim Doctor, as I just mentioned, was able to take horsehide because there would be no way to match this material, and she created for me a custom cuff, again like I did on the other jacket. And the great thing is you really have now something that's very unique. It has a totally different impression than it did when it came with the cinching, and to me, even though it has a zipper, and I'm not really a zipper jacket guy, you can see from a lot of my collection. There is a time and a place for this jacket, and I really love it as a counterpoint to my other, which I'm going to show you now. All right, so we finally reached the end. It's been a kind of a unique journey for me collecting Visvim. As you see from this video, I mostly have outerwear. I have some shirts, a few, but what I primarily base my collection on is jackets. And so to me, the 101XX, when that debuted in the IT version for 21, I was just obsessed. And I was transfixed with finding this particular jacket. So this is the King 101XX IT, but also in horsehide. And I don't know if you can really see it or you can pick it up, but it really has hits of purple or sort of funky colors because the horsehide takes the dye differently. And you can see from the jacket, it's just, I can't envision myself in 40 years finding another jacket that's this nice. So for me, this is like the crowning achievement of my Visvim collecting journey. I'm really happy that you guys wanted me to come along and kind of show my collection. I don't really get to talk about it a lot. So for me, it's fun because I get to share with people that are really appreciating the same things as I do. And I hope that you stick around to the end.